Hey, it's Mike Stiles. Here's the Content Marketing Quickie for the week ending November 12th. They're calling it the first global study of brand content, they being the people who did the survey. But it is a good one. IPG Media Lab and Google surveyed 19 categories of brands in 10 countries and discovered content, if it's good, raises brand favorability and intent to buy. John Lafayette reports in Broadcasting and Cable, people thought brand content was more entertaining, informative, and exciting than video ads. But if you want that boost in buyer intent, it's got to be high-quality stuff because that's what bumped buyer intent 10% compared to lame-o content. Kara Manat from IPG says mentioning the brand a lot did make people think the content was to sell something, but even at that, the info in it was still trusted. Also, the more people like the site the content is on, the more likely they are to like the content. It's fun sometimes to see what marketers think of creative talent and what creative talent thinks of the brands they do work for. Whee! Told you it'd be fun. Visually surveyed 789 marketers and creatives and learned 43% of creatives think their work is extremely or very effective. But ruh-roh, only 26% of marketers agree with that statement. In fact, 19% of marketers aren't happy with their creative team stuff. A little communication would help. Elise Dupree at Direct Marketing News reports 46% of marketers think their creatives deliver what's expected, but just 36% of creatives think marketers give actionable feedback. But I want to end this story on a positive note. They do agree that staffing sucks. 26% of marketers think creative teams have the people they need, and less than that, 16% of makers think they have what they need to meet the asks. Anna Johansson at Business.com has some advice for you about stock images. First, you're doing the right thing using images. HubSpot stats say our brains process visual info 60,000 times faster than text. That adding visuals to blogs will give you an average 37% more engagement, and press releases with photos get about 14% more views. But if you use the usual suspects like iStock Photo and Shutterstock, just know that if you liked an image, so did thousands of other sites. So how genuine do you come across when that happens? Hedge that bet by searching for a specific thing, not a general blog topic. Don't forget, if the license allows, you can alter the image to really make it yours. And if you want to use people, perfect, beautiful models are not that believable and are too salesy. A marketing experiment study compared conversions from a stock image to that from a photo of the founder, who I bet was not perfect or beautiful. About 35% more visitors signed up after seeing the real person. Influencer marketing. It's just so darn influential, isn't it? Well, it is if you do it right, and to do it right, it'd be cool to climb into the minds of the influencers themselves to see what makes them tick. CrowdTap did just that and discovered influencers are fierce advocates for their audiences and choose opportunities from you brands depending on if it's relevant to that audience. And if you care enough to know their audience and only present the right stuff, they'll collaborate with you even more. So how do you find the right influencers for you? Well, like a truffle pig, you've got to know where to look. Social Times says they participate in networks like Tap Influence, Collective Bias, and IZEA, and pick their marketplaces depending on the brands that participate there. Here's what influencers don't like: brands that don't respect what they do, and brands that never want to pay. Watch out, customer service people. Stuart Rogers is watching you. He says early this year he reported up to 289 million unanswered complaints a year go down on Twitter. Has it gotten any better? Has it? Hello, is anyone listening? Well, the answer is no. Not many people are listening, especially in retail. Sprout Social says 83% of them are ignoring their customers' questions. You heard me. Ignoring. As in acting like they don't exist and their attempt to contact someone never even happened. The lucky customers who do get a response get one after an average of 12 hours. Marketing VP Andrew Caravella knows one of the reasons. Marketers are pushing a message, but customers don't have questions about that message. They want to ask about other stuff marketing is not listening for. Marketing doesn't care about those questions because they only care about their current campaign. It's pretty much as far from customer centricity as you can get. The irony is Rosetta Consulting says people are 7 times more likely to respond to promotions after a meaningful interaction. Are you the best content marketing service alive? Well, let topseos.com be the judge of that. Or don't if you don't want to put your reputation in their hands. Anyway, they roll out a list every month of the top services, and they do it every month because things change often and quickly in this industry, right? Well, the criteria is keyword analysis, specialization, targeting, reporting, and needs analysis. And you have to be big and established, so don't get all ticked off if you're a little startup. So their press release put the top 10 like this. Number 1, Foxtail Marketing. Then comes thinkbigsites.com, OneIMS, Integrated Marketing Solutions, then thinkbigsites.com, which means they either really like them or they have no proofreaders for their press releases. Then VJG Interactive, iCrossing, iProspect, 97th Floor, 4Web Marketing, and Adage Technologies. How many videos has your brand posted on Snapchat? Well, if you haven't put any out there on it, then you aren't one of the 6 billion videos being watched on that platform daily. In September, it was 4 billion, and CEO Evan Spiegel said it was 2 billion in May. So as you can tell, without breaking out the spreadsheets, it's rising fast and recently. Lucas Matney reports it could be the result of Snapchat bringing more fun stuff to videos recently, like lenses to add filters and fast and slow motion. For comparison, Facebook recently reported 8 billion video views per day, double the 4 billion it had in April. I don't think you're going to argue video views are going up, but hold your horses. What exactly does a view mean? It's all over the board. Rumors say advertisers are charged on Snapchat the instant a video starts. Facebook counts it after 3 seconds of a video, and YouTube counts a view after 30 seconds. The trend is toward making the metric you care about time watched instead of view count. I'm going to count to 3, then you say your first name. 1, 2, 3. There! I just made my podcast interactive. And apparently that's what people want from their content. Interactive infographics, calculators, interactive maps, and which character from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody are you social quizzes. Users want to do stuff. Wrapped Media surveyed U.S. and U.K. consumers to find they love choice and customization. CircuPress's Douglas Carr reports the main findings. 89% want control over what ads they see online. 57% want to find content themselves, not through advertising. 64% would watch more video if they could actively participate. 86% want to control what topics they see on news sites. And 56% like being able to pick the content that's most relevant to them. People also like to pick their own pudding at buffets. Looking for a social network to buy ads on? Sure you are. You always are. Then you might want to consider Pinterest because from what 4C Insights experience is, it's both effective and a bargain. Their clients' ad spend there has risen 7.7 times, more than quadruple since January. And Justin Lafferty says since they're introducing more buyable pins and the holidays are already at our throat, it'll probably go up even more before the year closes out. 4C CMO Aaron Goldman explains what the big attraction is, saying, Pinterest is the perfect social discovery engine. You've got consumers in buy mode actively seeking inspiration with built-in sharing and network effects. Best of all, it's still early days for Pinterest ads, so there's not a ton of competition and inventory's a bargain. That's what Aaron said. Cost per click hardly moved, up just 1.2 times this year, but performance-wise, clicks are up 6.5 times since the first of the year, and repins of ads are up 5 times. Is your social media staff big enough? You may not know the answer, but let me help you by giving you this to compare it to. The President of the United States, you know Obama, has 20 White House aides whose sole job it is to handle his social networks. That includes Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Vine. You'd think politicians would be drawn to messaging platforms where the posts vanish, but anyway, if your brand is the leader of the free world, that's how many people you should have. If you have more than that, well, don't we think a lot of ourselves? Corey Schulman is on Obama's team and says, our office is very much tasked with looking for ways to bring his voice directly to people. It's a balance of focusing on the president's priorities and being flexible and opportunistic as conversations are happening online that relate to what the president cares about. Benjamin Snyder writes in Fortune, Corey and the team attend communications meetings every morning to discuss trending topics. A lot of companies are saying howdy partner to Instagram because they've now got a partner program. It's designed like developer partnerships, except these partners are in marketing. The idea is for Instagram to be able to offer its business customers the expertise of entities like Adobe, Adaptly, Hootsuite, Marin Software, Percolate, Sprinkler, Unified, Tongal, and Salesforce's Marketing Cloud. There are 40 of these partners, at least at the moment. They weren't picked willy-nilly. They got thoroughly vetted around criteria like being able to keep up with regular changes in tech, proof of client success, and knowing what Instagram's value prop is, one of which is its 400 million monthly active users. Partner Brand Networks told VentureBeat they've seen a 330% increase in their Instagram business since June, and CEO Jamie Tedford says, "We don't expect the rush to slow down anytime soon." Well, what do you think of the little heart so you can like a tweet instead of a little star so you can favorite it? Twitter Senior Vice President of Product Kevin Weil has told the world, guess what? That change is already resulting in increased activity. And not only that, the extra activity is coming from people Twitter has been working really hard to court, new users. Activity is up 9% for them versus 6% for existing users. Yes, the heart has its detractors, but Kevin says it's easier to understand. Plus, they knew it was going to be a big change, so they tested it like crazy globally. Drew Olenoff writes, the argument against the switch is when you've been around as long as Twitter, it's hard to get people to think and act one way, then suddenly swap the meaning of things. But apparently it's not that hard. That's it. The transcript is at brandcontentstudios.com.